Imagine a medieval court jester known for farting, whistling, and jumping all at once, entertaining the king and his court. One jester famous for this ability was the 12th century English jester Roland Le Farter, serving under King Henry II. Now, what does it have to do with modern-day Hollywood? Let me explain. Nobody likes to hear bad news. That's why in the past, few people had the guts to criticize the king, and those who did would not keep them for long.
The Lannisters send their regards.
After a few beheadings and starvation, monarchs realized that constant praise was boring and unhelpful. How could they know if they made a mistake if everyone always told them how wise and great they were? The brilliant solution was to have someone who could deliver bad news while making them laugh. Enter the jester. Jesters were the first to have legal right to freedom of speech. Their ability to speak truth to power, albeit wrapped in humor, was invaluable. In today's Hollywood, where the stakes are equally high and the environment similarly insulted, the spirit of the jester could offer a much-needed solution, especially for the recent trend of Girlboss movies that have struggled at the box office. Hollywood's been pushing movies with strong female leads to empower women. But many of these films, like recent Marvel or Star Wars movies, feature Mary Sue character, perfect, flawless heroines who aren't relatable and have no real growth. This makes their stories boring and unengaging. Plus, I believe that Girlboss characters don't benefit women at all. They only increase insecurities because they are so great and everything is easy for them, but this isn't real life. Nobody is perfect and nobody has it easy. So what are studios like Disney doing wrong? Well, have you heard of the PIXAR Formula? Basically, every Pixar movie follows the same structure. Once upon a time, life was okay. Everything was in order until something happened. In Toy Story, it was the arrival of the new toy. In Cars, it was McQueen getting lost. And in Inside Out, it was the increasing amount of sad emotions caused by Riley moving to San Francisco. And if you think about it, Toy Story's villain isn't Sid. It's Woody, who's jealous of Buzz. In Cars, it's not Chick Hicks, it's Lightning McQueen, who's arrogant and impatient. In Inside Out, it was Joy, who was too ignorant to understand the significance of sad emotions. When these characters resist change, the world throws them a challenge. And only when they go through this journey, which isn't easy and is full of failures, do they finally learn the lesson and we learn the lesson with them. In the end, the world doesn't go back to how it used to be. It's even better. Seriously, stop this video now and think about your favorite movie. I guarantee you'll find this formula in it. Now, when big studios like Disney, Universal Pictures, or Warner Brothers focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion over telling a meaningful story and teaching us something useful in the process, we get movies like Mulan. And I'm not talking about the original Mulan, which was great. It showed Mulan's growth from an uncertain young woman to a confident warrior through perseverance and intelligence. The live-action Mulan, on the other hand, portrayed her as almost perfect from the beginning. Her natural abilities and lack of significant challenges led to a boring film with an unrelatable main character. I believe Hollywood has forgotten what makes stories good and engaging. They push the narrative that women or queer heroes are just as good as male ones, and yeah, they are, but they forget to show us why. They don't give these characters any flaws or imperfections to overcome that would make them relatable and likable. Maybe the creators themselves don't understand what average people struggle with. They seem so disconnected that they don't know their target audience. Because when you know your target audience and market the movie for them, things go well. Look at the Barbie movie, for example. Barbie was directed toward female viewers. It stayed true to its universe, and people accepted it and had fun. I saw girls at the cinema dressed like Barbies, and I even dressed like Ken because why not? I've seen guys at my gym wearing I'm Ken off t-shirts. Barbie struggled with issues relatable to women, and Ken's problems were somewhat relatable to men. Most of us felt understood and respected. And maybe it wasn't the greatest movie ever, but it got some pretty decent reviews and was a box office success. But when other movies fail, instead of listening to the audience, Hollywood sometimes blames the fans, calling them sexist or racist, too stupid to understand the message. This blame game only alienates viewers and shuts down important discussions about what's really wrong with the films. What Hollywood needs is a modern-day jester, someone who can give unfiltered feedback to people like Kathleen Kennedy before she spends another $180 million on a show for a non-existent audience. Yeah, I'm talking about The Acolyte. They need to realize that marketing people and PR specialists will always find a way to show them that the numbers are growing, and those critical opinions come from some radical bigots that nobody cares about. I know how it works because I was one. Meanwhile, the reality can be very much different, but nobody in the company has the guts to say it out loud. Until it's too late.